Students, good afternoon. Now we will discuss about preparations of amines. Okay, so few we discussed already. So like from Grignard reagent, like do you remember Grignard reagent? So from Grignard reagent, so what I was given there, like RMGBr or something. So when it is react with some ClNH2 like this, okay, when react with this, what happens? This is R minus and this is and Cl minus, so NH2 plus, so R minus with NH2 I said, so RNH2 you will have, right? RNH2 you will have, and you will have MgBr as well as chlorine like this. Understood? So amines you have. Suppose if you want secondary amine, what to do? Secondary amine, then 2 moles of this we have to take, like RMGBr means Grignard reagent, RMGBr and one more RMGBr, R minus MGBr plus NH dichloroamine we have to take. Okay, so 2 chlorines we have to take like this. Then you will get secondary amine. What happens? Same story. This MgCl will go and this MgCl will go. So 2 moles will remove. Then you will get R, NH and R. So what amine it is called? Secondary amine. What that is called? Secondary amine like this. So if you want tertiary, like 3 moles you have to take. Okay. So in that way you can have this one more preparation. And one more I forgot to tell you is from isonitrites or isocyanides. Isocyanides on hydrolysis. On what? These isocianides on acid hydrolysis. Okay? Acid hydrolysis. Then you will get primary amines itself. I told you, you remember or not? So R C triple bond N on reduction L by LiAlH4 like that. Correct? LiAlH4 4 moles of nascent hydrogens, and you will get RCH2NH2 like this when you are using nickel by H2 or else LiAlH4 like that. Correct? So if you use Rn triple bond C when you are using the same hydrogens and the same reducing agent, then you will get RNH and CH3. So isocyanides on reduction methyl group you will have outside. So this carbon will become methyl and this will become NH like that. But isocyanides on acid hydrolysis you will form or gives primary amines itself. Primary amines. How? Let's see. Understanding what I said here. So isocyanide, these are different actually, not acid hydrolysis. These are reduction, these two. So these two are not important. These two I was given also. Okay. So here isocyanides on acid hydrolysis gives primary amines, I said. Understanding? So previously what I was given just direct reduction. Okay. Now I am taking this CH3 and CH2 and N triple bond C. Acid hydrolysis of this means water we are adding in presence of HCl like that. Acid, it provides hydrogen H plus. Okay. So water we are taking. So 2 moles we have to take. So this completely will break. And here H and OH, and here H and OH. Okay, like what happens here? CH3, CH2, NH2 you are having. CH3 and CH2 and NH2 you are having. Amine. Okay, this carbon will remove completely as in the form of a CO2. Okay, C2O2 like that, don't say, or HCOOH itself. Okay. HCOOH. HCOOH is nothing but further it turns as CO2 and H2O. That's the meaning. Okay, forget about it. So HCOOH is removing. Understanding? So from isocyanates itself you can have primary amines. Isocyanates on reduction I given. You forgot or not, I don't know. But cyanides on reduction. Cyanides on reduction, primary amine. Right? And isocyanides on reduction, secondary amine actually. Secondary amine. But isocyanides on treating with this. Isocyanides on treating with this HCl and water. Acid hydrolysis we call. Then you are getting CH3CH2NH. That means primary amine you are getting, one carbon removed here. Okay. So ethyl isocyanate or ethyl isonitrile like that. Suppose if you take this CH3N triple bond C, methyl isocyanate or methyl isonitrile. Okay. So this on react with water 2 moles and HCl given means what is the product? One carbon we have to remove. That means you are having CH3NH2 and one carbon will remove as HCOOH like this. Okay, this is one more preparation of amines. Okay sir, so amines preparation I said yesterday completed, but today I am just giving like applications of those amines and exceptional cases of preparations I was given now. Okay, so this is about the preparation of amines. Last and final preparation I will tell you, which is important, and from amino substituted carboxylic acid, from amino substituted carboxylic acids. Very simple, like CH3 and CH and COOH. COOH group and NH2 group must attach to the same carbon. Then when you treated with the barium hydroxide, BaOH twice on heating, okay, understanding what I am saying, decarboxylation happened. Decarboxylation means what is the meaning? Removal of CO2 happened. Got it? So here CH3, CH, NH2 and COOH. See, the particular COOH group and NH2 group must attach to what? Same carbon. Then what happened? This COOH group is there, no? So decarboxylation takes place. Means CO2 will remove, and that CO2 combined with this barium. That means what is the product here? CH3 and CH2 and NH2. This remaining is barium carbonate. So BaCO3. Okay. So CO3 minus 2 and barium plus 2. Correct? BaCO3. And remaining will remove as H2O like that. Yes. Okay. So this happens, and this is one of the important preparation of amines. Okay. Whatever, if you take any kind of like C6H5 you taken or any R group here you taken. But one thing is important, this carbon must have, only one particular carbon must have the COOH group as well as this NH2 group. Then this kind of decarboxylation takes place, so that COO removed as BaCO3. Okay, so important. Next we have to discuss about physical properties and chemical properties of amines. So first we have to discuss about physical properties of amines. Okay, so their nature and they are soluble in what kind of solvents, those actually. Okay, so amines maximum they are polar actually, they have hydrogen bond. Okay, so with water also they form hydrogen bond, and smaller number of carbon amines has intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So themselves they have some extra force, intermolecular attractive forces. Okay, intermolecular hydrogen bonding takes place if number of carbons are less, like ammonia. Ammonia has hydrogen bond. Do you know this? H and this ammonia means like this, and H and H, and H and N, and H and H, and here H, N, what you're writing? Shit. So I written wrong. Wrong in the sense correct only, but here nitrogen. So N and H like this. Okay, or yeah, and one more like this. Okay, next N and H and H here. Sorry, hydrogen. So here you have like this. So why I written this? So you have a hydrogen bond. So N and H and here hydrogen like this. So between these two there is a hydrogen bond. So hydrogen of this molecule and nitrogen of another ammonia. So here you have like this, and you have like this. So this is what bonding? Hydrogen bonding. What type of hydrogen bonding? Inter or inter? Intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So this hydrogen bond gives extra strength. Certainly this ammonia has more boiling point. Correct or not? Extra strength. So same story, instead of these hydrogens, if you take some primary amines RNH2 and RNH2 and RNH2 and RNH2. So like ammonia, these amines also, these primary amines I was given here. So RNH2 and RNH2. Between them there is a intermolecular, means between two molecules. Not within the molecule. If hydrogen bond within the molecule, intramolecular hydrogen bonding. So two different molecules of the same kind. So between them there is a hydrogen bond. So intermolecular hydrogen bonding is there. So therefore boiling points are very high for amines. For amines, boiling points are very high when compared with the non-polar molecules which don't have this kind of hydrogen bond having similar molecular weight. Understanding? So here amines have more boiling point due to hydrogen bond. So these are polar. Which are polar amines? Okay, suppose if you take this CH3NH2 and CH3 and Cl if you take. Okay, which has more boiling point means certainly this has more boiling point. Hydrogen bond is possible here. In this hydrogen bond is possible. So if a hydrogen bond is there, extra strength is there. Similar molecular weight almost I am saying. So when they have almost similar molecular weight, even slightly this is having more molecular weight, but boiling point is more for this. This is due to hydrogen bond. And of course, as molecular weight increases, boiling point increases. Even the hydrogen bond strength decreases. Understanding? So as number of carbons increases, NH2 and NH2, and number of carbons increases like this, and NH2. So of course, boiling point is more for this. Even hydrogen bonding is less. Hydrogen bond formation is more for this. Then even you have with one carbon like this CH3NH2, this has more ability to form hydrogen bond. What is the reason? Carbon chain. Carbon chain is hydrophobic. Carbon chain is what? Hydrophobic. Here more number of carbons are there. So these carbons are hydrophobic. So hydrogen bond strength is less here, but still molecular weight is more. That's why this boiling point is more. Okay, but comparative with other molecules, okay, other than amines. So if you see in which the hydrogen bond not present, okay, in having almost similar molecular weight, if you compare, one is with hydrogen bond, one is with a non-hydrogen bonding. Certainly this has more boiling point due to hydrogen bond. Are you following everyone? But in amines, as number of carbons increases, boiling point increases. but hydrogen bond strength decreases. But you may ask, sir, you only said no sir, if hydrogen bond is there, boiling point is there. So here hydrogen bond is less, no sir. Here hydrogen bond is more, no sir. So it should have more boiling point, no sir. No. Molecular weight is the main reason. So this has more molecular weight. So even hydrogen bonding is not there here. This is having more boiling point because of high molecular weight. So for the same molecules, if you want boiling point, CH3NH2 and CCNH2, and that means ethylamine, and CCCNH2 and CCCCC, 4 carbons NH2. What I am saying, understand? Hydrogen bond, then why you consider sir means I consider hydrogen bond in amines to compare boiling points with other molecules which don't have hydrogen bond. Okay, so I am comparing like this. So not in amines. Okay, so in amines, as molecular weight increases, boiling point increases. Okay, then why I given hydrogen bonding concept to compare amines boiling point with other kind of molecules. Understood? Hope you understood all these things. So, and one more important thing, as number of carbons increases, hydrophobic nature increases. That means solubility decreases. Understanding? So amines soluble in water. So write down that point. Amines soluble in water, but as number of carbons increases, I'm talking about solubility now. But as number of carbons increases, solubility decreases. So amines solubility, what happens? There in water because of hydrogen bonding itself. What I am saying, understanding? Amines soluble in water, but as number of carbons increases, solubility decreases. Why amines soluble in water? Because they are polar. So as I said, between amines you have hydrogen bond. At the same time, between amine and water molecule there will be a hydrogen bond. But as number of carbons increases, solubility of amines decreases. What is the reason behind it? As I said as I mentioned in previous, as number of carbons increases, hydrophobic nature increases. Hydrophobic means water hating. What I said, understood? So final conclusion. So you have to write all these things. Okay. Next, what I said, amines soluble in water, but as number of carbons increases, solubility decreases. Suppose if you take this CH3NH and H and water H2O. So hydrogen of this amine and oxygen of this water has a hydrogen bond like this. So what bonding this is called? As I said, intermolecular H bond, intermolecular hydrogen bond. If you take another one, so N and R means some methyl here. Okay, so methyl here, and you have, so like this, HL, okay, and H like this. Like there is a hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bonding is possible here. Okay, so due to hydrogen bond, amines soluble in water, but as I mentioned, as number of carbons increases, what happens? Solubility decreases in water. Okay, but as number of carbons increases, solubility in non-polar solvents increases. Understood, sir, everyone? So in water, if they said in water, CH3NH2 and C2H5NH2, C3H7NH2, who have more solubility? In water, solubility, but in CCl4, why? Water is polar solvent. In polar solvent, solubility is like this. What is this? Solubility order. Solubility of methylamine is more, then ethylamine, then propylamine, like that. Next, solubility in non-polar solvents like benzene, CCl4, CS2. Then what happened? The solubility is like this. CH3NH2 is less than C2H5NH2 is less than C3H7NH2, like this. Understood, sir? So in water means in polar solvents, this is the solubility. In CCl4 as a non-polar solvents, and this is the solubility. Understood, sir? So solubilities are very important. So we have tried in polar solvents, as I mentioned, as number of carbons increases, solubility decreases. But in non-polar solvents, as number of carbons increases, then solubility increases in non-polar solvents. Any confusion? No? This is polar solvent and CCl4 is a non-polar solvent. That's it. And boiling points, everything, for every kind of molecules, one thing is similar. What is that? As branching increases, boiling point decreases. I mentioned in previous also many times. Okay, so you have to remember that point also. What I said, as branching increases, then boiling point decreases in isomers. Okay, so next we have to discuss about chemical properties of amines. So amines has what character I said in previous? Amines are basic in nature. What nature? Basic in nature. Amines has what nature? Basic nature. Understanding, sir? So amines can easily react with what? Acids. So first one is that only. So form salts. Okay. So what I said, RXN means reactions with acid. Okay. So like CH3NH2 when react with HCl, they form like hydrated salt, like CH3NH2.HCl, means it's like soluble like that. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? CH3, NH3 plus and Cl minus. Okay, methyl ammonium chloride, like salt it form. Okay, that means between this between this base and acid there is a dative bond between this H plus and NH2. Okay, in another manner you can understand like this. CH3NH2, it has a lone pair, from acid H plus has an empty orbital, acid now this is, and this act as a base. Now this lone pair donated to H plus and form a dative bond. Donated means, remember, it's not complete shifting. Complete transfer of lone pair happens here, are you thinking? No. This lone pair utilized by both nitrogen and H plus. But this lone pair belongs to whom? Nitrogen. That is called dative bond or coordinate covalent bond. Because this complete lone pair belongs to nitrogen but sharing with hydrogen. Okay, donated by nitrogen but shared by both. So what happens here? And CH3N and H and you are having like dative bond like this. Okay, positive charge. So here remaining is what? HCl is there. So HCl minus. Okay, so simply you can write like with HCl, CH3, NH3 plus, NH3 total, NH3 plus and Cl minus. If you take in sulfuric acid, SO4 2 minus, 2 moles we have to take this. Understanding? So CH3 NH2 plus and Cl minus. SO4 2 minus means twice we have to take CH3 NH3 plus whole twice and SO4 2 minus. Okay, so this is a reaction with acid. Please note it down. So why I said here they'll ask some kind of questions. Here nitrogen hybridization is what? sp3, but lone pair is there, so pyrimidine. Here after reaction with acid, what is the hybridization? They can ask sp3 itself. But sp3 with one lone pair, that means pyramidal shape, and here sp3 with 0 lone pair or no lone pair. So that is the difference. So here this amine or nitrogen hybridization is sp3 and shape is pyramidal, but here is tetrahedral. Because no lone pair, because that lone pair utilized for dative bond. So here 4 bonds are in tetrahedral manner. So these kind of questions they'll ask you. That's why I given this example. Understood? So next most important reaction we will discuss. Okay. So reaction with NaNO2 and HCl. Okay. So next reaction with NaNO2 plus HCl. Sodium nitrite plus HCl. Okay. So what happens actually? NaNO2 plus HCl, when we mix, you will have HNO2 plus NaCl. So NaCl is a neutral, unreactive. So with amines, who will react? HNO2. So you can say this one simply reaction with HNO2 otherwise. Reaction with NaNO2 plus HCl or else reaction with HNO2, both are same. So here simple thing you remember, what happens? Amines turns to alcohols. Primary amines if you take, and you will get alcohols. But here some kind of 1,2 hydride shift and 1,2 methyl shift takes place. Okay, those rearrangements are very important. Okay, amines converted to what? Alcohols. Suppose if you take this CH3, CH2 and NH2, primary amine, when you react with this on arrow, you please write down NaNO2 plus HCl. Okay, so react with what? NaNO2 plus HCl, or else you can write with here HNO2. Okay, so here when these react with this, first you will have this CH3 and CH2 and N2 plus, N triple bond N plus and Cl minus. Okay, N2 plus like that. Understood? So here N triple bond N you are having. So N2 plus and Cl minus. What is this? Diazonium prepared. Cl minus here. Okay. So here you have hydrogen utilized, and here one kind of a bond, and N plus and Cl minus you have. What this is called? Ethyl diazonium salt. Diazonium chloride otherwise. Diazonium chloride. When you are using HCl, no? So H plus is there. This H plus will take this Cl minus. Now what happens? CH3 and CH2, N triple bond, N plus you are having. So H plus you added, so HCl will remove. So this H plus combines with Cl minus. Now what happens? This will come over here. Okay. So HNO2 will provide OH minus. OH and double bond go like this. Okay, OH minus will be. Okay, so now this OH minus will come over here, N2 will remove. So our product is CH3, CH2, OH. Okay, plus N2 remove. So understood? So diazonium salt is the intermediate. So this nitrogen and this nitrogen will combine. So CH3, CH2, N2 plus and Cl minus. So afterwards what happened? This H plus is there, no? This H plus again it absorbs its chlorine. First diazonium chloride is the intermediate product. So this H plus will take this Cl minus. So HCl gone. So then OH minus nucleophile attack, N2 gone. Okay? N2 was removed, nitrogen. Understanding everyone? So here this bond will break completely. Actually sir, this 4 bonds, no, sorry, positive charge here only. So here Cl minus has interaction with this nitrogen, and this positive charge will be neutralized. Understanding? This bond when broken completely, negative charge will come on this nitrogen. So negative and positive will cancel. So N triple bond N will come out. Correct. So I written in previous also, this nitrogen only positive because 4 bonds for this nitrogen. Understood sir? So like this happen. When you take an ethylamine, this kind of thing happen. If you take an propylamine, what happens? Please have a note this one first of all. Understood what happened? Ethylamine, diazonium salt, this nitrogen and this nitrogen combine, and triple bond N plus, and Cl minus, like OH minus is removed. Understanding? OH minus removed, and that Cl minus will combine with H plus. Then you have this kind of intermediate. So N2 removed, carbocation you have. Okay, actually like carbocation, CH3CH2 plus, CH3CH2 plus and OH minus. Understanding? So from this, first N2 will remove, positive charge here, CH3CH2 plus and OH minus. So CH3CH2 OH you are having. So that only I given here, amines converted to alcohols. Amines converted to what? Alcohols there. Understood? So please note it down all these things. So if you taken some kind of propylamine, so CH3, CH2 and one more carbon, CH2, NH2, when you they given like HNO2 given. So what we feel, HNO2 given, or else they give like this, NO2 plus HCl given. Okay, so HNO2 will react. Okay, in place of NH2, OH will come, we think. So what we think? So instead of NH2, you will have CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. Sir, this is the product, sir. Because at this particular first carbon you have NH2. So in place of NH2, you are having OH. No, this is not the product. Here, the perfect product is, the correct product is, here is the product. This will be CH3. Understanding? So these are the kind of exceptional things. Like we discussed in previous, why hydride shift and methyl shift happens for getting more stable carbocation. Let's see what happened. For CH3, CH2 and CH2 and NH2, when react with this NaNO2 plus HCl. First what happened? CH3, CH2 and CH2 and triple bond N plus and Cl minus. This will form. Next what happens? When you added H plus, then you are having CH3 and CH2 and CH2 and N triple bond N plus. So HCl was removed. Now next what happens? N2 will remove. So this bond will go. Then what you are having? CH3 and CH2 and CH2 plus. What happened? Understood? N2 removed. Then this carbon will get positive charge or not? Yes, this first carbon has positive. Now what happens? This carbon is the primary carbocation, right? Why positive charge you have at first carbon? This is what carbocation? Primary carbocation. How this turns to secondary carbocation? By 1,2 hydride shift. Do you remember this? Hydrogen will shift from here to here. CH2 na? So this hydrogen will shift there. 1,2 hydride shift. So this H plus when shifted, then you are having CH3, CH plus and CH3. What carbocation it is? Secondary carbocation. Now OH minus will add to this. Now our product is this OH minus will add on that. Then you are having CH3, CH, OH, CH3. This is the final product. CH3, CH, OH, CH3. Understood, sir? Please remember this and it's a very important. So where you have OH like that, it's very important. Please remember. Okay. Suppose if you have this. If you have here you have NH2, sir. Two alkyl groups here you have. This is one alkyl group and this is another alkyl group. Two alkyl groups here you have like this. And here this carbon has one methyl and one NH2. For this, if I am adding HNO2, what happens? OH will come here. At this? No. So where will come, you tell me, and write on a product. Okay, sir? Thank you. And keep practicing all these things, and few more properties in our next class only itself we will complete, and we will finish this amines and we will enter into maybe P block or complex compounds. Okay, thank you.